Live from YMSL Studios. Welcome to the Doug Less Report. I'm your host, Bobby Morabia, with, as usual, NRJ to my left, and a very special guest. We finally came to terms with his agent, and Dr. Chucky Abady, representing All In. Director of Player Personnel, Assistant GM. And Chucky, welcome finally to the show. And
it's great to be here, Bobby. NRJ, been looking forward to it all year. Finally made the move down to the shore, and I'm excited about tonight's show.
Well, it's good to have Chucky back, especially in the league after last year. Brief stint in AAA at his age is not easy, but good that you fought your way back. And was the star of the show on Sunday with the game-winning hit in Game 1 for All In, actually. So.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the incredible matchup at Fireman's. Actually, you two guys were going up against each other. But Chucky, in all your years, and Norman, veteran that you are, this past Sunday's action was maybe one of the best regular season weeks in YMSL history.
Wild, wild. Every game with implications. Every team with implications. All in, not all in. Exit 105, the only team that didn't play, but even they didn't know if they were getting the bye or not. Everyone was relying on other teams to see what would happen. It was truly an exciting day for YMSL.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. Great competition, great play. The third game actually wound up being a big factor.
Yeah.
We were worried about a rain out, and then all of a sudden those two game threes, down to the last inning.
Yeah.
And we're still not done with it yet.
Yeah, we said a couple of weeks ago that those game three would probably decide the final playoff spots, and they did come into play. And after all that, the regular season is over technically, but it's not, because who would have thought about a month ago that the Braves and the Hurricanes would be fighting for a playoff spot? I mean, one was 2-6 at the halfway point, the other team was 1-7, and here we go, complete turnaround, and both now going up Sunday for the.
Don't forget the number 1 seed, the Pirates, were 1-5.
Right.
So the 3 worst teams after probably near the midway point of the year, one of them is in, and the other 2 are fighting for the final spot.
Yeah, the Pirates, ironically, you said the number 1 seed, and they were 1-5, so they won 8 out of the last 11. No,
9 of 10 they won.
No, 9 of 10. Wow.
9 of 10 they won.
Yeah.
Let's get a calculator out here.
Right.
Paper and pencil. You got a paper and pencil?
We're not great in quantum physics, but we're trying our best over here.
1 in 5.
So, Chucky, your team, the way our playoff system works, your team ended up with the 3rd seed, actually, by virtue of what was it, tiebreaker versus
record versus playoff
teams. Yeah, the tiebreak was actually you played 2 one-run games and you split. So your team coming in with the distinction of having to make a decision, and now I guess with the playoff game, it's up in the air right now.
Definitely. I mean, you don't know who you want to play at this point. The teams that are trying to get into the playoffs are both hot. Whether the Pirates, not the Pirates, of course, but the
Hurricanes.
Okay, we got the Hurricanes on the one hand,
Braves,
and the Braves. So either one of them, you can either face maybe a Jeffrey Sacker or a substitution there, or you're going to go against Sammy Towell, a winner, his whole career. Those are teams you want to kind of stay away from. Maybe I don't know, where this is going to go. Well, even the Pirates, who got the number 1 seed, are as hot as could be, and what seemed to be the best team all year long, Exit 105, kind of just coasted.
Yeah.
And then wound up with the bye, and now another bye. So I don't know how Nathan, and the boys are handling all that time off.
Not only that, not to get off subject with that team, but Morris missing Game 1 in a 3-game series is a big factor also, you know? But that's for next week's show anyway. Round. But it just adds another element of excitement. There's so much going on. Back to All In and who they're going to pick. I'm hearing from inside the organization that it's the worst kept secret in YMSL this year is that they're taking the Bad News Bears. I don't know if it's the right decision or the wrong decision, but that's what some sources are telling me. I don't know if Chucky wants to make a declaration in front of 3.8 million viewers right now, but
no. My manager over here, I got my own mic. He's your mic. Maurice has told me not to say anything. He's got the gag orders out like he did all year.
But even if you're not saying, is the decision made already, or is it pending the result of this?
No, I definitely think this playing game has implications as to who you might want to pick. Especially since Jeffrey Sacker is out, and
I don't think. I think if Jeffrey Sacker was here, I don't think there'd be a decision.
Yeah, I think if Jeffrey was here, we wouldn't want to touch either one of those 2 teams, and it might come down to the Bears and the Expos. But with Jeffrey being out, we'll see how it goes. It's we have a meeting. We have a meeting, and it's not open to the public, but there will be a meeting on Friday afternoon to hash this out. Probably about 3-4 hours.
Yeah. Now, Chucky, your team won the first game in dramatic fashion, and the second game you almost had you won that second game, you would have clinched the second bye against Norman. So let's talk about that matchup, because there were two unbelievable games at 5.
It was really well played ball games. I thought we both scored the same amount of runs. Both games ended in walk-off fashion. But game one was really one for the books. This team was up 9-5 in the last inning. 2 outs.
Nobody on.
And a combination of walks, errors, and a hit or two. All of a sudden, we had the go-ahead run at the plate in Ralph Chira with the bases loaded, and he hit a triple. Should not have been a triple. Should have been a beautiful double or a single that scores 1 or 2 runs. But it was a triple because the outfielder bobbled the ball 3 or 4 times. And all of a sudden, we had the go-ahead run just 90 feet away, or however long it is in our league. And we ended up tying the game.
Seems like 90 feet.
Seems like 90 feet. We ended up tying the game. It went to the bottom of the 7th, and Chucky to my left over here came up again with 2 outs, men on first and second, hit a grounder in between third and short, off Alley's glove, and Ralph Matute from second base, and they're going to show the video on the website at some point. He's actually rounding third, caught us off guard a little bit, that he actually was trying to score, play at the plate. He was safe. I saw the video, but maybe by this much, and that's how they won game
Very
1.
Gutsy call. I don't know who was coaching third at the time, but to send him with
For the first time, I wasn't coaching third because I was hitting the ball, but I think that
I don't know,
Ralph Chira kind of ran on his own. I think he just saw it trickle into
was it Ralph Chira or Ralph Matute?
Ralph Matute running, and I just think he's vying for Rookie of the Year or something. He's hitting over 500.
Yeah, he probably just went
that rally also, Norman, our rally as well started with 2 outs, nobody on, and the 6-hitter up. And the 6-hitter up. And we got a base hit from, I guess it was Ralph, and then Zeke followed with the hit, and Zeke Dweck's been hitting all year long. I want to go up to the top of the 7th, though, with what I thought was a big call. Like, we didn't lose our focus. At 9-all, man on third, we walked Mikey Shallon.
Yeah.
Was it intentionally?
Intentionally. Yeah. And there was some input, don't put an extra run because it's an extra run. We were worried about the man at third, and we bailed out. Your brother Joe was up, hit a nice shot to right field that was caught, and at least we didn't lose the lead.
Well, now, why you did that to face Bub? Like, for what reason?
We wanted to force at any base. We've been having trouble with some of the throws.
Made it
first and third. And the truth is, as you would see later in game 2, Mikey's been really hitting the ball.
Yeah. Mikey went 0 for 3 in game 1, but he rocked the ball. Maybe he went 1 for 3. I don't know what he did, but he was rocking the ball every time. And then, as you'll see later in game 2, like he said, he came up in a tie game in our bottom of the 7th and hit a leadoff double.
That should have been, more bases if they.
So Mikey hit both games.
Mikey hit both games.
He should. He's a hitter.
Yeah, and I noticed you platooned this week. I saw.
I platooned this week because Mikey's been injured all year. He has not batted until last week. He came in as a pinch hitter one time and he killed the ball. And now it's crunch time. We're playing. It turns out the game 2 didn't even mean anything. We would have been the 4 seed anyway, but we didn't know that at the time. And you don't want to get swept ever. So we said, you know what? We got to put the best lineup out there. People have to make sacrifices. Although I had a decent year, I finished 0 for 9. I was not hitting well against them at all. I was popping up like a fool. So I said, you know what? Let Mikey bat. Let me keep Sifu in there. Let me keep my brother Joseph in there and see what happens.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
Let me take you to game 2. There was one critical play in that game also. At 3-2, I believe it was 3-2, Allie Marshall hits a ball that's a home run for Allie any day of the week. And for whatever reason, I don't know if he broke out of the box quite as much as maybe a little Robinson Cano action coming out of the box. which he told me later, I didn't really bust it out of the box. And we wound up throwing him out at the plate. And on that play, we weren't going to get him sliding under the tag because I was 10 feet up the line.
That's right.
And giving him the business down
there. It was like Willie Mays Hayes where he slid.
He just came up short.
It was in between third and home where this play at the plate was, actually.
Right.
Also, interesting coaching move by Chucky here. He invited anybody from the team to coach third base with him at one point.
Yeah, they were giving me, you should have sent him. Every guy in the dugout has another opinion. Why don't you play aggressive? Send him. You should have sent him. So I just gave him a shout out. Anybody wants to coach third right now, step up. And they all You know,
Malak is a great third
cars.
baseman. I've heard him say "stop, go" in the same
Stop,
sentence.
go. Jimmy Malak. I don't know if he knows which is which. You know, Baruch Hashem. You know, like and then.
By the way,
Stop, go,
their team's lineup is so
cute.
strong. Because actually Henry didn't hit great and Maurice didn't hit great, and everyone knows they're
Maurice had a
capable.
rough day. He was 0 for 6.
He was 0 for 6.
Yeah.
Henry may have been 0 for or 1 hit. I'm not sure, but neither of them had a great day, which we both know they're both great hitters. Put Jimmy Malak in there, put Chucky Abady in there. The top 4 of that lineup is ridiculous. It's very hard to
a rookie like Ralph Matute hitting lower floor.
Right.
Zeke Dweck and Jackie Haber.
Yeah.
Jackie Haber hit a rocket in game 1.
killed it.
Ball got thrown out at the plate.
I played with him last year. He has power. This little kid has power.
Very solid at the
Very
defensive
solid
end.
fielder,
Very
very
solid
good
fielder.
set of fielder.
Little bit reminds me of maybe a young David Bracker with the left-handed glove, the quick exchange.
This team's very strong, but Leo at the mound. He did give up a 4-run lead with nobody on. He walked a bunch of guys.
But that was a 6-out inning. I mean, he had 2 outs, nobody on, and Maurice will tell you to be the first one. He had an error on Carlos Abadi right at the, right there. Should have been 1, 2, 3, and game
and
over.
Ali had a ground at him.
Right, another little bit of an issue with that one.
True.
Now,
but
in game 2,
some walks in there.
In game 2, we also had a situation where, in the top of the 7th, down 4-2, we have 7, 8, 9 coming up. And 7 hit a rocket to short. That's Zeke Dweck.
Yep.
Ali made a layout, spectacular grab.
Oh my God.
Spectacular. And then the ball just kind of came out of his glove. I signaled to right field. We got a sac fly, made it 2nd and 3rd.
Now 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs.
1 out first.
Okay, 1 out.
And Jackie Haber uncharacteristically looked at strike 3.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristically.
Oh, you got caught
looking.
Yeah.
For the 2nd out.
For the 2nd out.
That's 2nd and 3rd. Now what do? Chucky Abady comes up, 2nd and 3rd.
Henry on deck.
4-2 game. Henry on deck.
Hall of Fame Henry Shalom on deck. Shalom.
He's setting up the force. You're doing.
So what are we supposed to do?
Ali wanted to walk him, I believe.
I think I would have pitched to him. It was a 4-2 game or 4-3?
4-2.
4-2, second and third, 2 outs.
I think I would have pitched to him.
We pitched to him, and he hit a beautiful line drive to right center. Tied it, no doubt about it, hit. Tie game. And then...
now then the next 2 guys, I believe, walked.
No, we walked one of them intentionally.
Henry was up next. So
Henry was up there. We intentionally walked in. Next guy was unintentional.
Who's that?
Malak.
Yeah.
So now bases loaded.
For the captain.
For Maurice. And we got him on a fly ball to right.
Fly ball to right.
So this is what, the 7th?
That's the top of the 7th, so it ends 4-all.
Oh, I didn't realize.
So bottom of the 7th.
Bottom of the 7th, Mikey leads off. Now Mikey cannot run. You got to understand.
Yeah.
So where we put him in the lineup is late, only to put 3 or 4 fast guys in front of him, and we can't slot him with anybody. So Mikey hits a rocket. Anybody else, including a slow runner, would have had a home run, a triple. I'm telling you, a rocket. He goes to second base. And then I forgot even what happened after that. I know Sonny.
So they hit a ground ball to 3rd.
We pitch ran.
Ground ball came to Maurice. I don't think Maurice gave. We pinch ran with Ralph Chira.
Right. We put Ralph Chira.
And he didn't really check him hard at second. At that play, I'm giving him like a pump fake to first. And the kid's gonna bite on it, and we're just gonna get him because he was 7, 8 feet off the base. He kind of didn't look at him. He threw to first. Errant throw and winds up 1st and 3rd.
Right.
Safe at first. Throw back to 3rd. Safe at 3rd. No backup on 3rd. So big play by the 3rd baseman. Chucky does not want his pitcher backing up. I heard him make a declaration. Don't back up 3rd because you have so much to do on the mound. So interesting coaching move over there.
I've been screaming at Leo Casson to back up 3rd all year long, and he just doesn't want to do it. I don't know. He's not crossing that line in the sand.
Right.
And I just decided at that point I'll change the philosophy. I'll tell him, because he's not listening to me, I'll tell him, whatever you do, don't back up 3rd.
Because you have so much to do on the mound.
And that ball trickled precariously close to the out of bounds, where Henry happened to just kind of cut it off.
That's true. Henry backed up.
And I did tell him if he doesn't back up 3rd on the next play, Bawaba's coming into pitch, because I'm tired of it. He's got to back up 3rd. And Jimmy Malak, who I love, has got to play closer to the bag at first.
Next guy, my brother Joseph, was up in an infield hit.
Infield grounded to Henry Shalom.
Right.
He throws to first, I don't know, off the bag.
Maybe he got him on the tag. Who knows?
Oh, no. Bases loaded. No outs.
Right.
Now, top of the order. Sonny Shalom up. And all he needed was a sac fly. First pitch, he hit it deep, and it was actually a hit. It went over the left field.
He's not working the count, Sonny, there. Your odds of getting out of that.
So you played outfield in.
We got to play him where they can throw him out in case of a fly ball. I mean, there's no point in playing him deep. So
that was it for
and that was the walk-off for
Sonny. And then you still had a chance, I guess. No, actually, that eliminated your chance for the bye at that point, right? Once the Pirates.
After 15 games, 7 innings,
right.
we were 1 hit from Maurice away from getting the #1 seed.
Wow.
That's the way we looked at it at that point. Maurice will tell you, you know, he singles with the bases loaded. We take a 6-4 lead minimum, and you know, probably finish up 10-6, and we had the tiebreaker against both the Pirates and Exit 105.
Amazing, amazing how close every team is.
Crazy.
It's really wild.
So
that was all.
There was other action in other fields.
Yeah, there were the games on Sunday.
So now we went across the way with the Braves versus the Braves versus Bears.
We heard the tomahawks the whole time while we were playing. It was very distracting, but
let me just give the number for our viewers: 732-5YMSL55. It's the 732-5YMSL55. Or 732-5
689. 689.
You know how to reach us. So now this game was the Bears coming in struggling mightily. Started off 5-0, and could have easily been knocked out. Major pitching problems in that team, and against the Braves, who Jeffrey Sacker, who were coming in at 5-9, basically, obviously needed a sweep and all kinds of miracles that they got to even get in. But this game was not even close. I mean, both games were like in the first couple of innings were blowouts.
Moses actually started both games. At one point, he asked Nemi to come in at the end of game 1 or something to give him a rest, and Nemi told him, absolutely not. This is your mess. You deal with it. I guess he wanted to pitch game 2.
Wow.
They gave the ball back to Moses game 2. He got rocked again early. I heard the defense was dreadful for the Bears, which is usually not the case. Usually they have a good infield, but they're missing Morris Casson.
Yeah, Morris Casson missed. He had 3 games. He missed all 3 games. It was with a back injury.
So they put Victor Dweck at third.
Right.
Victor I played with in the past. He played a decent third, but I heard he was terrible. Sorry to say it. I love Victor. But I heard Louis stole the day with the game-winning hit for Hillel Yeshiva that day, his younger brother. But Victor had a rough day.
Who played right field then if Victor wasn't there?
I guess Charles Sacker maybe?
Charles Sacker, yeah. So,
and the Louis Massey played second base? Oh no, he didn't have to. Eddie Michon played.
Well, Eddie Michon was the pitcher. Eddie Michon ended the pitch.
Not till game 3 did Eddie Michon pitch.
He didn't come in a little in game 2. I think a few innings he came in. Game
maybe
2,
he did.
And they gave him the ball in game 3. He stopped the bleeding in game 2 for a few innings and was out of hand. But that we kept saying that the whole year about the Bears, and it's just.
Who was their original draft pick?
Nemi.
They picked Nemi.
Yeah, Moses wasn't even on the team at that time. Yeah.
And he's not pitching, I guess what? He's got back trouble or they lost confidence?
All the above.
All the above.
Back problems, he walks a ton of guys and just gets into these situations. And now Eddie Michon had pitched a couple of years ago. He was a captain on Tiger Blood. Basically, he's a Meyer Safdie type guy with, a little slower. He's not going to walk anybody.
Not going to walk anybody.
And he pitched Tiger Blood.
What did he do? He pitched.
Never pitched Tiger Blood. David Azer pitched for them.
No, but then Azer was a disaster. He did at least 6-7 games.
Oh,
I'm telling
6-7 games.
No, it was Moses was the pitcher. No, Moses.
Tiger Blood.
What team was that?
Moses was on One Channel.
No, Moses.
I'm looking at you guys go for coffee tomorrow and talk it over.
So anyway,
I think one of Eddie Michon's assets though is he works very quickly.
Yeah.
And he's kind of in the head of the batter. Step out, don't let him quit. Give me time out. And they're kind of out of rhythm.
And he's a great up the middle fielder.
Very good defensive. I hit a rocket in my game against him the other day. He didn't even acknowledge it. He just kind of took it, and kept going. It was nothing.
And actually, they put Robert Bra at second base. He did a great job when Michon pitched, and I guess Nemi was at first. So
now, have they declared that that's going to be their pitcher going forward? Does anyone know?
No, you know something? No, I think. Talking with Eddie Michon, I think that still Moses might get the nod, but they said Moses has 0 confidence right now, so I don't know if they want to even give him the ball.
So what about Nemi? They were 5-0 with Nemi. They were 5-0 with this guy originally.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was they're 5-0. Their offense was through the roof, and I don't know if it's gonna they've slowed down a lot offensively. But
how's their left fielder feeling? What's his name? Zeke something.
Who's that? Dweck. Jake.
Jake. Yeah, we got
Jake?
Zeke. You got Jake.
I think he started.
Jake was
hitting.
Rookie of the Year, and he's coming on now.
Yeah, I think he started hitting.
Because he was injured against us. He kind of had a limp off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he came out of the game the week before. I forgot about that.
Eddie Michon, by the way, won the batting title with the 563, I believe it was.
Who's that, Eddie
Monster,
Michon?
Yeah, Monster.
653.
653.
653.
Monster year.
Wow,
As
that's
a
a
fifth
lot.
round pick.
That's a lot.
A certain MVP candidate. So him and Eddie Richie. The lineup is still very, very
Formidable,
solid.
for sure.
You know, again, big loss with Morris Casson. I believe they picked up Max Sutton as a replacement for the postseason, but Morris has got a great bat.
Is Mars out for the year?
Yeah, he's done for the year.
So now Max is going to be their replacement, and he's going to play third base, I guess.
Right.
I had an opportunity to play against Max a couple of years ago as a replacement, and he was a big pain in the butt in terms of, he didn't just come in as a nice, mild-mannered replacement. He came in as like it was his team and he was the captain.
Wow, interesting.
And he was giving us the business and hitting the ton, and I don't love facing that opponent. I'd like to shout out though to this Dweck family, which is like the what's the guy in the Rangers? The whole family, the Sutter brothers over here with Zeke Dweck and A.B. Dweck and Jake Dweck.
Yeah.
And they're all, and all of them are playing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all playing.
Well,
I got a composite.
Talk about A.B. Dweck. He's having MVP
A.B. Dweck also, batting the 5-hole, playing left field, hits the ball every time on the screws.
He's got some great numbers this year.
Solid.
Certain MVP numbers. So, like we said, your lineup is very, very solid. But
I think it's interesting what Chucky said about Max. So he's going to come in. Maybe that's what this team needs. Maybe they need a little someone to wake them up a little bit. Because they were hitting the cover off the ball originally, and they had a top field, and now they both seem to have dissipated with this pitching meltdown. It seems to have affected other areas.
Well, listen, there's only so much you can do. Now it's the pitching is still going to be an issue in the playoffs, and it always comes down to pitching and defense. So if they're not going to have neither, it could be a very short visit. But a lot of these guys, not really giving the Bears a chance, from what the critics are saying.
I think with Eddie Michon's leadership, I know Eddie Richie is the man at short and everything, but him taking the ball and pitching just takes that veteran leadership, to another level, and he's going to be more than just the numbers. I'm not comparing him to this guy or to that guy. It's more than numbers in a lot of these playoff games. There are certain guys that just have a winning attitude about them,
right.
They can just will the team kind of through and not let things get out of hand.
Yeah, now, let's not forget they have Eshko on the team, an outstanding center fielder.
We got to get to that game 3 because I heard Eshko made the catch for the ages.
We'll talk about
when we get there.
We'll talk about catching the ages. There was actually better catches than that. But so now let's shoot over a couple of blocks away to Dow Avenue, which had a standing room only crowd for a couple of big matches. So we had the Pirates and the White Sox, and Hustle versus the Hurricanes. Now the Hurricanes, as we mentioned, coming in at they were 5-9 and needed. No, they're 5-8. Basically, needed all kinds of miracles to get in, and Hustle with Mavora
also
needed help. They're both teams at 5-8, and I'll tell you one thing. Watching the Hustle the whole year, I've noticed that before you turn around, the national anthem's done. They're down 5-6-0.
It's crazy, but half the time they come back.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, unbelievable. And I'll tell you, the defense has been atrocious. Not to discredit Mavori, he got hit hard, but his defense really let him down. I mean, he never had he didn't have a center fielder. His infield was not great. But then when they finally did, I guess due to injury to who was their Soli couldn't play.
They moved Soli every week. This is the story with this team. They never had a full team. There's always somebody missing, whether it's Mavora, whether it's Leo Pachotto. They had Big Soli playing shortstop. Soli's got the best glove in the world, but does he have the range for shortstop?
Shortstop, huh?
Wow. Then they moved Zach Ashkenazi from short to center.
Okay, so this is what happens because Leo, I believe Leo was not there last week, so they moved Zach Ashkenazi to center field, and what a center field he is. And they moved Soli to short, and And Steven Safdie got injured last week. He's back, so he couldn't field this week. So they were just, you know.
So this week, what they did, right? So they said, you know what? Zach was so good in center. Now that Leo's coming back, we're leaving Zach in center. We're putting Leo in left. Steven Safdie can't play anyway, so they put Avi Dweck in right.
Okay, and that's a good outfield.
It's a good outfield, but the ball found Avi Dweck one too many times, and it became a little bit of a circus.
Well, Albert Levy was an issue also. They was giving them problems, so they had really never had the answer for right field. So so they were getting it hard. I mean, before we knew the first score we got was 6-0 and 8-1. But again, they battled back. I'll tell you that they put up. It was 8-3 and 8-6, and you know, they finally they lost that game. I believe it was
11-8.
11-8,
but they were down 8-1.
They were down the whole game.
They
did flirt with coming back, but never actually even tied the game or anything.
Yeah.
So they lost game 1. Game 2, all of a sudden we get the report on our field. We Hustle's down 6-0 again.
Yeah.
We're like, no, that was game 1. No, it's now again. First inning, 6-0 again.
Wow.
I mean, it's just crazy. But this time they actually came back.
Again, I literally think it was the 4th time this year they came back to win after a 5-run deficit.
It is the 4th time.
Unbelievable. I didn't look at their lineup and say, oh wow, this is like murderer's row. It was just.
There is a certain section when you have Mavora and you have Steven Safdie and Big Soli, all 3 back to back, and Zach Ashkenazi in front of them.
Yeah.
So there is a small section. It's not the deepest lineup, but you get those guys going together. It's dangerous.
And by the way, Steven Safdie has just elevated his game.
Yeah.
He's probably the best right-handed hitter in the league right now. He played on one leg. He got hit with a line drive from Soli Shaver last week. He showed me his leg was like this, so he couldn't move, and he got around a triple, a double, at 5 hits again. Monster slugging percentage this year, but. You know, so Hustle played that 3rd game. They were still alive technically, right, Albert? I think even going to that 3rd game, they had a very minute chance to get in.
I'm 90% sure that if Hustle even won that game against the Bears, they would have lost on a crazy tiebreaker. They would have lost the playoff spot, but it still meant something.
Yeah. So you know, so I mean, the big story about this, they didn't get in. The Mavora once again in the YMSL did not get into the playoffs. So which is big news. I see a lot of smiling faces on
my nephew, Ike, I love him. I love him. I mean, in the Brooklyn League, he's dominant. I mean, he's World Series penciled in for the World Series. I don't know if it's the picks around him or just a big stage. I played AAA last year. It's a little bit different when you get in front of the hordes that are at Dow Avenue.
The media
alone,
crazy.
That's just the way it is.
But he's gonna have that chip on his shoulder now.
It's about time. He's got to get the chip on his shoulder because he's not played a postseason game in this league.
Right.
He almost did. They almost let the Braves pick him up as a replacement.
Yeah. Both times actually lost on maybe the final inning. Final whatever he just.
But you know what? The team did play shorthanded. They did play 2 triple headers in a row. Now so did the other team, the Bears.
Yeah.
But you know what? Someone told me something today. It made sense. The Bears versus Hustle in 2 triple-header games, which is the way the schedule worked out, and that's Hustle's fault. They didn't take A.B. Saka early in the year when they could have. But in 2 triple-header games, it hurts the pitcher more because you're pitching for 3 straight games, and the Bears don't have a pitcher anyway, so it really doesn't affect them as much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it is what it is. That's the way it worked out. What are you going to do?
Yeah. No, but so they came up short. But again, they had I wasn't too high on the team to begin with, but I guess it's no big surprise. They did have some very good offensive numbers on that team.
I think, Bobby, one common thread that gets underplayed a lot in the discussions here in the network and in the draft rooms and everything else like that, it's the defensive aspect of the game, and the decision making of the game. If you can get players on your team that throw to the right base, back up the right base, and limit the number of 4 and 5 out innings. If you look at all the games that we're talking about with all these comebacks, it was 2 outs, nobody on, and there was an error over here, and then there was another spectacular play, but the ball came out. Then it was a throw to the plate, but he kind of lobbed it. He didn't really gun it. And then there was not a tying run on second, but he threw home, and he let the tying run get to second.
Yep.
And it's the same kind of
what amazes me? I see
mistake.
This time and time again, where the outfielder, I guess, maybe they do have great arms. Maybe they think their arm's not as good as it. They try to throw
It's crazy.
A fast guy at the plate on the sack.
So many times.
And it goes behind the backstop. The guy from first goes to second.
But forget the behind the backstop.
For no reason.
We both caught a million games. So many times a guy throws home when the throw should go to second.
Yeah.
There's no shot to get half these guys, even with a perfect throw.
And half the
but
time,
a lot of times we don't even see the pitcher cutting it off.
But even after you tell them, the comeback is a good throw had him.
Right.
Who cares if a good throw had him? If he had a good throw, you wouldn't be,
Right. By the way,
a second round pick.
It's 4-0. Don't let the next guy go to second. Let the run score.
Just what it is.
Yeah,
the
the runner is. I mean,
you
see this too many times. I mean, the fundamentals is just like it kills
you see it on a potential double play where it's Ashkenazi out of the box. You're not doubling them up. This happened the other week, and they go to first, and next thing you know, the tying run is now at second anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not rocket science, although there's more to the game than just what's the count. They've always what's the count? How many outs? They don't know how many outs. They don't know what's the count. The guy's saying, one of the coaches or non-coaches is yelling to the kid, "There's 2 outs, run," and there's only 1 out. He doesn't even know how many outs there are.
Right.
So, I go back to that. The smarter teams with the better defenses. This is where I kind of go back to an exit 105. If you got Mo Shama and Nathan Towell and Jackie Hadden, they're not throwing to the long base. Those left fielder, the right fielder, and the shortstop. And if you hit the relay to Mo, the good things are going to happen.
Right.
And that's why those guys can just kind of cruise to a 10-6.
Right.
They didn't kill the ball, Jackie Hadden.
No.
Neither did Morris this year. But they're just smarter than everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I think they had one guy at 400 maybe in the whole team, and
they know the game.
Yeah.
They know the game.
I mean, Max Shadid. I don't think he could have been in a more perfect situation for a young pitcher.
He needed it also.
Yeah.
It's a great point that you make. It really is. And you're right. We don't give that team enough credit because they don't hit the ball and this and that, but they are very smart. They don't give any games away.
They don't give a game away. And you look at it, every team that's 9-7 thinks they should have been 11-3.
Right.
That doesn't add up to 16, but 11-3 and 2 games to play.
Right.
So that being said, we shoulda, we coulda, we woulda, but how many times can you tell the guy,
what to do in the right situation?
They got to know in advance who's on deck, who's running, where are we in the lineup.
By the way, there are reports that the members of the Exit 105 have been taking quotes from our show and using it as bulletin board material because one of our analysts said last week could have been one of the worst first place teams in recent memory.
I think he sits to my left off camera.
I don't
know if he's on camera.
I think I said that there was no team. What did I say, bud? Like, we play back the tape because all I said was there's no team that ran away with it like Storm. What is it called? What is that team that went 21-2 called?
The Golden Jets.
The Golden Jets, 21-2. There's no 21-2 team this year, And I believe it was the whiteboard analyst that actually took the biggest dig at them. That said that I think he's the one that made the offensive quotes. I'm not sure.
Well, I'll go back to that team though. You're underestimating, the way they win the game. I mean, their game is not going to change that much come playoff time.
Right.
I question whether the Pirates are going to put up 39 runs in 2 games.
Right.
But I don't question that Exit 105 is going to pitch the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball, and manufacture runs when they need to.
Right.
Nathan's going to hit the ball to the right side, whether it's through or not. He's going to get that runner from second to third.
But
pass the baton.
This suspension to Morris is a big factor because who's going to play short? You're going to move the whole field around. Let's say they lose that game.
Believe it or not,
2 in a row.
I think you're going to have a little throwback days, and Jackie Haddock's going to be playing short.
No, I don't think so.
I'll tell you, you heard it here. That's my prediction.
Do you have inside info, or is that
that's my gut feeling?
I can speak. I know Jackie is 10 years my junior and whatnot, but that ball comes a lot quicker and short than it does in right
field.
Than it does in right. It comes quicker in right than it does behind the plate.
You do have an option putting Solly Towell there.
Solly can play short. Solly has played short.
Third baseman, but
Solly can play short.
Yeah.
Solly can play short, and he can play it well. He won't be. I mean, everybody's a drop off from Mo Shama, but Solly, you can't play it at 4th decade, 5th decade.
Right.
It's tough.
I'll tell you one thing: if somehow they find a way to win that game on,
then it's over.
I think they're just going to run the table at that point.
That team is to be reckoned with. They've been number 1 all year long, and one game, the first game will be a key for them.
That's what I'm saying. They can win with a short hand
or not, and it's only 2 out of 3. So
all right, we don't got to deal with that for another week, though. Let's get back to the business at hand.
All right. So now the other game. Which was at Dow Avenue as well, was the Red Hot Pirates against the White Sox, and we were pretty down on the White Sox all year. I mean,
Jackie Towell, this is.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this is the second year in a row that we looked at the White Sox just seemed to be missing something in that organization that was like.
Well, I can tell you, at an MLB level, my son's a big White Sox fan. What are you thinking when you're calling yourself the White Sox? I mean, with an organization in disarray on the major league level.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you'd want to be, maybe somebody a little bit more like
the Expos.
Last year with the Twins.
Like the Expos, the funk team, the team that's out of business, totally out of business.
So, I mean, there's so many guys that just let that team down. It's just Jackie Towell, the first half of the year, could not get the guy out. He was hitting over 700.
Yep. 700.
Cooled off drastically in the second half. They had some guys put him in. They couldn't get a big rally going. Couldn't do anything. Ralph Hannon, God bless him, what he did this year.
He's been pitching well, by the way.
Pitched 3 games.
He held the Pirates to nothing, to 4 and 6 runs, which for them is nothing, basically. Although the Pirates the last 2 weeks are winning these low-scoring games, which is what the playoffs we assume are going to be
all about.
And but the White Sox, from all indications and all reports, is that this team was not into it yesterday. They started some inner fighting within each other also, and they just never got it going. Which is a shame.
To me, they had that game 3 versus the Hurricanes. To me, it looked like they just went through the motions. I think it was a 2-hitter, and it was just nothing happening there.
Not only a 2-hitter, out of 21 outs, I heard that at least 13 of them were ground balls to either third or short, just routine plays.
I heard it was 12. I heard it was 12 ground balls.
Right, we're still counting.
I'd like to go, while we're talking shout-outs, we mentioned some players for the MVP.
Thank you.
Present company excluded on both counts, but Albert Gamal is putting up some numbers. If you look at the league leaders, he is there with runs, with RBIs, with slugging, with homers, with triples, with doubles.
Yeah, Gamal's putting on a monster year.
A monster offensive year. A monster offensive year.
There's a few guys. Him and
the bat and the cream.
Yeah, Jordy also had let's not forget Eddie Michon also had to put up monster numbers.
Absolutely.
So there's 4 or 5 guys that put up crazy numbers. Gamal ended up with 29 RBIs. But he had maybe 28 with 4 or 5 games to go. So last couple of weeks
tailed
off. But that lineup, we talk about great lineups. I mean, Jordy's hitting 650, Joe Chira hitting second, and then
Gamal and Hakeem.
Richter is coming around now. He had a huge 3-run homer the other day. And I believe Jaime Sham had a great year this year.
Great year.
You got to credit him. We bashed him early on when it looked like he was going to walk off another team, but he did not do that. He stayed with the team like he should.
Yeah.
I mean, he shouldn't have to be commended for this, but let's commend him. He deserves it, and he had a great year.
Yeah, and
and I think defensively, you got to talk about Jaime Sham as well, because they had him at short a couple of games when Jordy wasn't there. They put him at third. He makes every play. He makes every play.
And we talk about great hitters. Eddie Hakeem, as we know, known as a great DH. He's been playing unbelievable short center field.
He's always said he could play.
Yeah.
And he always wanted to play either second base or short center. He thinks he could play those positions, and he's proving it.
Right. He was always kind of ligging it on the sideline, so you never knew he wanted to go into the game. So,
and
glad he got the opportunity.
Team,
and I like the restaurant a lot, Eddie, when I come in. I love it.
Oh, Abraham Aber in right field, and Maurice Sasson also had a good year this year. So
now, Bobby, you had these makeup games now.
Yeah.
These game 3s, which I'd like to delve into a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Hurricanes now needing a win just for the possibility to stay alive versus the White Sox, right?
Yeah.
Big factor. Major inside sources about this. How did David Gindy get up for a 3rd game with a tired arm? I'm hearing that there was a egg bagel with cream cheese purchased by Sammy Towell, eaten by David Gindy before the game, and as soon as he swallowed the last bite, he said, I'm going to pitch a shutout right now. And boom, 21 outs later, the Canes have a chance to be in the postseason. That's breaking news.
Maisonot bagel.
Maisonot bagel did not need to wash.
Did not need to wash.
the Canes have a chance to be in the postseason now.
You can't pitch a 3-hitter. We mentioned that 3-hit shutout.
And White Sox 4 in a row. They were 6-6, and now they ended the season 6-10 in dead last place.
I mean, I know both of us. I don't think we're too high on them before the year started.
No, we got teased in the middle.
Yeah,
and then
but
boom.
So much of this is decided like who you play when.
Right.
And I think drawing the White Sox really on the very, very down and out note benefited the Hurricanes
for
that
sure.
point. But in defense of the Hurricanes, they swept all in when they were, I believe, 2-7.
Right.
We played them, and they kind of stuck it to us. They pitched 2 great games, and they just beat us up.
We know you guys are staying away from them.
I mean, okay. Are we ready to talk about the game ahead, or Okay. So now, because it all affects who they are going to pick, I think.
Now.
Yeah, before we talk about the game.
You want to do?
We'll talk about the game when I talk about this.
Okay. First of all, before we get into that, I want to introduce. We mentioned a lot of exciting things in the YMSL going forward, and Albert Towell is going to show us, starting the postseason, how advanced we are technological wise. Is what.
Technological
wise.
Not grammar wise, not grammar wise.
Not grammar wise, but technological speaking.
Move in.
Albert's got a new feature for the for a new app that for the YMSL, and it's going to be very exciting.
Fine. 2 weeks in a row, I'm on this side of the camera. I'm usually behind the camera, but it's exciting to be on this side.
We're a much better looking. We're a much better looking. Group as a quartet. Yeah.
Also, by the way, I have to apologize. The whiteboard episode, number 1, before we talk about that, the whiteboard episode last week, actually the highest ratings we've gotten, I think, since 2010 for that scenario. We were number 2 in the whole country, only to the Voice results show.
Yes.
That's a very big...
they said it was the highest rated show since the I Group commercial.
Yeah, since Norman was drinking the Gatorade. And,
did that Danielle Danbury have...
She's still in.
She's going to win, though, tonight.
Yeah, she's going to win. I hope so. Team Bradbury. Vote for Bradbury.
Vote for Bradbury. The other girl's Jewish, by the way.
Yeah, she's a Sephardic Jew.
Very good-looking girl. Very good-looking girl.
No, but she's an Egyptian Jew. So
very good-looking.
She's a big old infant.
Big old infant.
Oh my God, I don't think she's Syrian at all. She's Egyptian.
Yeah, we don't include her in the.
She goes to Abba.
Anyway, I actually have to apologize. I actually messed up on the show. I approved how the Pirates can miss the playoffs, and that particular scenario that I gave on the show. That was actually not the right scenario. That was actually a 4-way tie where all the teams made the playoffs. So Meyer Safdie was very quick to notice, and I was getting death threats, mail from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to my house. But I cleared
it
up.
From the Colel. Who's it from?
I got from Logan Road. They sent the guy to run it over here. Only a block away. They sent the guy to run it over here. But I ended up emailing Meyer with more scenarios so they can miss the playoffs, so they wouldn't get too high on themselves.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
Awesome.
Anyway, big changes coming to the YMSL. Everybody take their iPhones out. You have an iPhone? Of course.
A phone? I don't have an iPhone.
No?
Does a Droid count as an iPhone?
Yeah, you can use the Droid. You have a Droid?
I can use a Droid. I have a Droid.
I think that'll work.
Probably batteries dead.
So usually,
I have a call.
No, I'm kidding. We have the stats on the website, simple stats. You got slugging, you got on base, you got average. Then you get those guys who come to the field like Jimmy Malak, Ellie Pateshi, tell you what their average is with runners in scoring position with 2 outs in April in the rain. They give you all the stats, and you wonder how they figured it out, right?
Right.
So now the YMSL is upgrading. We're basing our stat system off of an app called Game Changer. So everybody on your iPhones, go to the App Store. It's a free app. We'll do this together. Type in Game Changer, all one word. Or Marketplace for those Android customers.
I'm making believe.
Yeah.
I just found the app button.
Classic.
All right.
It's free.
It's a free app. It's 100% free.
100%.
Is everybody doing okay downloading? You
Yep.
found it, Norman?
Game
All right,
Changer,
good.
yep, gotcha.
Game Changer. All right, so once that's downloading, basically what this app is, every scorekeeper, you see them with the papers, they're writing, they're erasing, they have the pinch runners. Every single at-bat will be done on the iPhone. From now on, every scorekeeper is equipped with a state-of-the-art iPhone. And
is membership to the league going up?
Membership league is staying the same. Not
for the duration
for
of
2013.
For this season.
Yeah, for this season.
We're having a mid-season increase, but next season it's going up.
Guarantee.
It should go up.
Yeah.
It should go up.
So basically, since the scorekeeper is entering it on his iPhone, every single at-bat, the second he hits enter for every at-bat, It's updated live anywhere in the world with internet connection.
Wow.
You can see that at bat live. So keep in mind,
That's great.
this one-game playoff coming up this week. You're about to talk about who's going to be in Israel. Jeffrey Saka, Elliot Anteby, Charles Saka on the Bengals Bears is going to be in Israel. Semishon's going to be wherever he's going to be on his business trip, and they can all tune in live and see the Braves playing the Hurricanes and every other playoff game this weekend, updating live on their phones at bat by at bat.
That's phenomenal.
Now, Elliot Patesh, after he gets a hit, can access his iPhone on first base and see what his
stats are. Yes, yeah,
as
exactly.
can Jordy Ramel to make sure he got credited with the hit. So,
so they can scream at the scorekeeper
while at the game.
The ironic part is, and here's it's funny you mentioned Jordy. The ironic part was we actually used this app to do a little beta testing during the year, and the one game we tested was Week 6 at Memorial One, the exact game that was in question that Jordy was questioning about. We actually had the iPad and the book both confirming.
Was he right or no?
We're pretty sure. We had both sources saying.
Pretty sure.
We had both sources saying that he was out on that play, so it was hard for him to make a case.
99.9%.
So did you download the app? We're going to go deeper into it. Stay here. All right, so open up the Game Changer app, right?
It's waiting. It's downloading.
It's still downloading. What do you got there? What is it? 2G?
We got no service here in the studio.
You gotta log in. Log into the headquarters Wi-Fi.
3,000 feet under sea level for security. But yeah.
All right, so everybody who's watching this live or recorded, do right now. Take your iPhone. You search for the Game Changer free app. Download it right now because you're gonna need it during the playoffs. Because you're gonna see every game updating live. You're on the beach, can't make it to the game, whatever it is. You can't wake up 8:30 in the morning for the one-game playoff, whatever time it is. In bed watching the game, update live on your phone. Should you go to the game or not? What's the score? I'll head over.
Awesome.
Right?
The wives are gonna love this app. The wives are gonna love it. You're gonna get lunch with your wife and you'll be doing nothing but looking at your app.
And it's free in Canada.
It's free in Canada. Yes. .ca.
.ca. Exactly. Are you on the app's not loading yet?
Not loading yet.
Okay, so whoever's watching, you don't have Norman on board. Are you uploaded? All right. So if you're watching, you open the app. The first thing you do is find teams. The welcome thing is find teams. We're going to post a tutorial.
You got to email a tutorial for
We're going to post a tutorial on the website, but if you're watching live right now, a quick little thing, you're going to go to find teams, and then right now you're going to search teams. You can simply search 2013 YMSL, and right away, every team in the playoffs shows up.
Wow.
So you got the Hurricanes, Braves, Expos. I'm getting a text right now from Hurricanes DH and utility player Leo Honono watching live telling me, quote, this Game Changer thing is Hadid, so we already have someone on
Hadid.
the app. Hadid.
Very nice.
Thank you for your approval.
Hadid. We're going to look that up.
In the words of Sammy Towell, Louis Hanono, thank you.
Hadid. It's Hadid.
So if you go to Hurricanes, right, you could actually look at this one. You do follow team.
I want Jimmy Malak to post up a Hadid also from the All In.
This is the best.
Jimmy, if you're watching.
For all the fans out there, this is the best feature on the app. You go to a team name. So let's say Hurricanes is the first team to show up on your search.
Right.
You go to Hurricanes, you hit follow team, you create an account, put your email address in, and every time the Hurricanes are done with the game, literally 1 second after the last pitch, you get an email with the score and all the stats, a link to every single statistic.
Great.
We're going to show a tutorial on the website. You go on GameChanger.io, not CA, you go to GameChanger.io. You can see every player's spray charts for the season, literally accurate spray charts.
Where they hit the ball.
Where they hit the ball and every
hit the
whole
ball.
season.
Right field, no, maybe we'll do that.
No, well, Chucky's very smart in that he steps back, he looks where everyone is, and then he puts the ball exactly where he wants to put it. He usually goes to right, but if you put a shift on him, he'll go somewhere else.
Does this app come with Advil? Because I'm getting a headache from just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I got, you know.
Yeah.
Climate tutorial.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Can you do climate?
Yeah,
Send
you a bill.
Send me a bill. Just first do it, then send me a bill. Climate tutor. I can use it.
So that have all these built-in stats. You can see everyone's average with 2 outs and runners on base. You can see pitching stats. You can see spray charts, all these things. There'll still be stats on the website. We're not going to ditch the entire website. We built the website. This is an added feature for live scores coming straight to your phone. So we're going to give a tutorial on the website soon, but for now, download the app, get on it.
It's actually going to be in working order for the game one of the playoffs.
So we're officially launching the one-game playoff. The one-game playoff is the first game we're doing officially with the app. If you want to see how the app works, we actually did one game, like I said, Week 6 on Memorial One. So you can search 2013 YMSL. If you scroll all the way down and find the Braves for Spring 2013, I don't know if you can find it. You can actually see their game when Morris Ferrari hit the walk-off home run. You can see that game, every single play. You can go through.
Are all the scorekeepers well versed in the usage?
Scorekeepers went through a 6-hour training session.
6-hour training session.
Every scenario. we'll see how that works. I don't know. But the playoffs are coming, so we always have the best of the best scorekeepers.
Yeah.
So 2 games.
All right.
Actually, the best of the best scorekeepers.
Morris Cohen getting the nod.
Morris Cohen, hopefully getting the nod. We'll see.
And the best of the best umpires.
The best of the I wouldn't guarantee that. So the best of the best.
Under the tag. Whatever it is, they slid under the tag.
The sad thing is the best of the best umpires.
Yeah,
The best of the best umpires in this
Under the
league.
tag.
Yeah.
The best umpires in this league are equivalent to the best animal in the zoo. So you're getting what you get for whatever that's worth.
I'm not going with Norman and I are both catching. We can't say anything bad. We love Ray. We love them all.
Right.
They did good in our
He
game.
slid under the tag. No, he did
There you
good.
go.
He did good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great, exciting
Thank
news.
you.
Exciting stuff coming.
Very good. There were no issues.
A couple of close plays on almost DPs at first base and big
That
saves.
guy was so animated.
Animated.
It was awesome.
You couldn't even think
The
of
second umpire in our game was
Yeah.
Back there,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
Very good.
Heavy set.
Heavy set,
Large,
big boned.
Big boned. I wouldn't go there.
And
you know.
Ray was there. Ray's
Ray takes it over.
Moshama's buddy over there. That was
Right.
So.
Right.
But
When
he
I
gives
had-
a lot of leeway. When I found that it was him that threw out Mo Shamba, I gotta think that Mo went a little
No, he had no
overboard.
choice. He had no choice.
No, he admitted. Mo admitted he went overboard.
He must have, because this guy lets you talk, lets you question. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he was the first one to tell you deserved to be thrown out. So.
When we got Ali out at the plate, 10 feet short of home,
Yeah.
Ray said to me, no chance to call him under the tag that time.
Right.
You left no doubt on that one.
So let's start talking about the big action this Sunday. We have
And it's Sunday, and you're saying Sunday.
Yeah, it's not Friday now. So we got the Braves with the
Ralph Hannon.
The Ralph Hannon
Braves.
Yeah, the Ralph Hannon Braves and David Gindey's Hurricanes in that one-game playoff. Now everybody's looking at it. I mentioned Sam Michon won't be there, so everybody's looking at it a cakewalk here. Not giving the Braves a chance. I mean, obviously Jeffrey Sacker not being there is probably a bigger loss than Sam Michon. I think just from a leadership standpoint or the pitching standpoint. But what do you think? Gindy's track record in the playoffs has not been great. What do you think? How do you see this matchup going?
I don't go so much with the history. I'm not looking at what the guy did 10 years ago. He's been out of the league for 5 years. He's a more mature player right now. He seems to be a much calmer influence on the squad. We faced him. He pitched extremely well against us. He's super competitive. Sammy Towell is Sammy Towell. I mean, you've got that team, and I think the Hurricanes have to be my pick in the game just because Jeffrey's not there.
Right.
I mean, that Brave team struggles for offense as it is. And, without the shutdown pitcher, they're going to have to be involved in a 4-2, 4-3 kind of game to have any chance.
Right. The Braves actually won that game, but they've won a 1-0 game this year. They've won some very low scoring games, and they're usually like 4-3 is high scoring for them in a game.
Amazingly, they average less than 4 runs a game in the 16-game season, which is just incredible softball. Yeah. I mean, it's really
it's incredible. Now the thing with the Braves is they feel like because I spoke to a couple of Braves, they feel like they're getting the short end of the deal here because they couldn't replace Sam Michon and they couldn't replace this one. To me, I honestly do not think that Ralph Hannon should be allowed to pitch in this game because this is a regular season game. And in every level of baseball, this is considered the 163rd game is a regular season game. Look it up. It's a fact.
Look it up in the one.
And in a regular season game, you can't replace the starting pitcher.
I know, but we had this implemented several years ago where the one-game playoff in the rule book is considered a playoff game.
That rule in the off season got to be looked at. It's got to be looked at. This is This is a game to determine who gets to the playoffs.
Right.
So you can't consider. I mean, you can if you made that specific rule. Any one-game playoff is not considered. Okay, for stats, tiebreakers, or any other purpose.
Right.
Okay.
It was
a little ambiguity, but a little ambiguous, but. Because this is for replacement. This is,
Well, that's
with other purposes. With other purposes.
Replacement.
I mean, if you ever get to be a commissioner in this league, Norman, you'll be
thank you.
At that point. But at this point, you're an analyst.
Right. That's why I'm giving my analysis, which is I think that the Hurricanes have something. I don't know if they've made a big deal.
Nah, they didn't make a big deal at all. Listen,
I think they should because this is a regular season game. You can't replace the pitcher in a regular season game.
We don't need any encouragement for the Hurricanes to.
And I think it's ironic that the Braves are the one that are complaining. I don't know if they complain to you guys, but I'm related to one, and he's complaining that
they're also complaining that they can't replace the Michon kid.
Yeah.
Right.
They want the Hannon kid.
Right.
Well, first they wanted the AB Saka. to be a replacement and let him bat. Let's just
improve the team.
Do they want Ralph Hannon? And they want to hit no less.
Yes.
But Jeffrey Sacker has 8 at-bats on the year.
Right.
For the number
For a player, they wanted him to bat third.
And then, but they were nice enough to say they're willing to take Zach Ashkenazi for Sam Michon.
Right.
So they were very gracious about that.
So how many players are they missing? What is the actual?
Well, they're missing
4.
Jeffrey Sacker, Elliot Anteby, Hazen was missing for the last 4 weeks.
Right. They're missing 4.
Blazing for the second year in a row has missed the bulk of the season.
Right.
Hope we collect the dues on him.
Sam Michon, so they're missing 4 guys.
4 guys.
So, and now Ralph Hannon is not allowed to hit, so they're
only batting 9.
They're batting 9 and fielding 10.
Okay.
They're not being penalized and out for that.
Interesting. So they're batting 9.
Well, the rule is, if you look up the rule about tiebreakers, if you're missing 3 guys, if you only have 9, the 3 guys that are missing, you take the middle round of those. If it's a 3rd, 8th, and 11th.
You take the 8th.
8th or
and
lower.
they are getting hurt in that because they're missing a 3rd,
11
and 12.
which is amazing.
But they made an amazing pickup, I have to say, for that 11th round. It happens to be Joey Boabe, who was the 11th round pick. What an outstanding year for the White Sox. One of the few bright spots on the White Sox this year. Almost hit 450.
Wow.
You don't really see players like that in the 11th round.
By the way, that is a very good pickup.
Right? I mean, it's like really.
That's a good pickup.
So they got somebody out of that, which is which could help him a little bit. He can even play shortstop, worst case scenario. So
okay, fine. So that's
now we do like Ralph Hannon's a big drop off as far as pitching wise. Jeffrey and as far as mentally also as a pitcher, I don't think he's as tough as as Jeffrey is. So. I would think in this situation, I'm going to go also with the Hurricanes for the 1 game.
Wow. I was also going to go with the Hurricanes, but we really can't do that.
Why? Sure we can.
I guess we can. My gut is
we
that
could all 3 be wrong. It's okay.
That's what's going to happen when we all agree. I got to go with the Hurricanes just based on the fact that they were 1-7. They're very, very hot. When I played them, they probably should have swept us. They lost the game 2-1 that they gift wrapped to us. They swept you guys, right? They're a good team. Hurricanes are a good team. They just took long to get going. Yeah. Their outfield is very, very suspect. If they lose, I think it's going to be an issue in the outfield for some reason. Yeah. But got to go with the Canes here.
And ironically, Sam Michon was really the only offensive threat the Braves had all year. So you're losing him.
So I'm going to go on that note saying that if the Braves have any shot, the Cohen brothers have to step up.
Yeah, they had to start.
The Cohen brothers have to step up. I mean, they were a first-round pick, captain. Slotted in the first round, 3rd round. They really have to. They're gonna have to carry that team.
I think it's safe to say that if the Hurricanes win, he's not touching the Hurricanes. Maybe they'll take the Expos. Maybe they'll go with the Bears. But I think they're going with the Bears.
Yeah.
Now, if the Braves win, do they go? First of all, how long is Jeffrey Sacker missing for? Can he come back for game 3, or is he missing the series?
Game 3 he played that day, by the way. They were playing 3 games.
Yeah, they're playing games 1 and 2 the next round.
For them, but let's say there's a game 3 in this round.
He'll be back. Yeah,
he'll be back.
But that's next week. That's next Sunday.
That's the next Sunday. He'll be back.
But they're thinking if Jeffrey Sacker's not there, they could be.
They could be swept. They could definitely be swept, but. I'm thinking if I'm all in and the Braves win, do you take the Braves now? They don't have Jeffrey Sacker.
Yeah, that's what they're thinking.
But unless you sweep them, now you face Jeffrey Sacker.
That's what they're worried about.
Hey,
I'm just filling it all the viewers in.
Were you in on the meeting or your insight?
That's what
you're like Karnak the Magnificent.
That's what Maurice is worried about.
I need the hat.
I mean, it's like if they sweep him, Jeffrey's back.
Yeah, that's why at the end of the day, I think he's going with the Bears.
But wait, hold on. Is a potential game 3 on next Friday or next Sunday?
No, it could be Friday.
It could be Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Saka will be back for that potential game 3, as you said.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know Saka's schedule, but I'm sure he'll be back.
We are offering him 3 free nights in Tel Aviv.
Okay, gotcha. Go to Eilat for
the weekend and
actually, who's that? No. Actually, Jeffrey Sackers, to show you how competitive he is, tried to
move the bar mitzvah.
Move the bar mitzvah. Sammy had no part of it, but
he wants the kid to read a different parasha, 1 week later, so he can make the game.
He actually wanted to switch his flight to Sunday night. The bar mitzvah was Monday morning, and his wife was not too happy about letting 5 go with 5 kids by herself to Israel, so he nixed that idea. But he actually looked into it.
Amazing.
So So that I have to agree with you guys. I think if the Braves win, I still think they're going to go with the Bears. My gut feeling is that you're going to go with Eddie Michon. And listen,
what do you think? You want to make an announcement? Or?
I think that's a way premature. I mean, you don't feel that facing Ralph Hannon in games 2 and 3 that you have to worry about the third game with Jeff Saka. And let's not get crazy. I mean, all due respect to Jeffrey, they can't score.
No, I know.
Right. I mean, it's not a lockdown.
No, but listen.
And the Bears with Michon and Rishti and whatnot. I mean, there's something to be said.
I know, but I don't know. To me, the playoffs is pitching and defense, and I'll take that any day over offense. So that I would think. I think they're going to go with the Bears. It's safer. But I haven't heard the Expos mentioned, but so I would think that's going to be a matchup that's not going to happen. But
we played some fabulous games on Sunday, so if they did pick us, I think it would be a great series. But I think they're going to pick the Bears. I really do.
Right. So let's say that is the Hurricanes would end up playing the Expos if that was the case.
If we're right about the Hurricanes.
Yeah, if we're assuming that the Hurricanes.
I mean, if the Hurricanes win, we agree there's no question they're taking the Bears. The only question is if the Braves win.
Now, you guys are sitting pretty good now because if they take Ralph Hannon and the Braves win, you end up with going
the Bears,
which is not such a at least
maybe you want us to take the Bears because you don't want to play the Bears.
No, I'll play the Bears, the Hurricanes, or the Braves. Or I'll let you pick us. You pick us, we'll play you. We don't.
I think it's going to be super competitive.
Right.
Any which way you roll the dice, you're talking. Look at the season.
Yeah.
I mean,
there is no.
Do I take a team that I swept? Do I take a team that I split? Do I take a team that swept me?
Right.
I mean, those are the choices.
Right. So.
And when they swept, maybe they were down and now they're up. So I can't really judge it.
Right.
So we're
But
going to
you always don't want a team that's hot going into the playoffs. They're very dangerous, so that's why.
Not only hot going into the playoffs, but the no pitcher thing on the Bears is a major factor.
I think that's a major factor. I do. I think that's a major factor.
Right.
On any given day, David Gindy could,
right.
even if it's just for one of the 2 games that you play that day, he could lock you down. Now you're facing a 1-game, game 3. Anything can happen. I think they're going with the Bears. I don't care who they go with because I love not having a choice in this matter because you don't have to piss a team off.
Right.
That you pick them. You guys can do that?
Can we defer?
100%.
So don't fall so much in love with that. We can defer.
Okay.
That would be.
Yeah, you could defer.
That would be
Maurice,
crazy.
we could defer.
Yeah, Maurice was actually thinking about that, so that's a possibility.
There's no way they defer, and they're gonna take the Bears.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, live, breaking news.
Oh.
Usually Norman does not go out on a limb unless he has some inside information. So.
I'm just hearing the name Bears a lot from the all-in team.
I think
that's because the Mets the other day in the paper were compared to the Bad News Bears when they made like 3 throwing errors in one play. So maybe that's what you heard.
Maybe that's where it was.
Met fan that you are. You got the other guy pitching tonight. But,
yes, it was scoreless through 4 or 5 at my last check.
And in the earlier game, Harvey had a no-hitter into the 7th.
We tried blowing the game to him again, but we didn't succeed.
David Wright was looking very good at third.
Yeah.
David backing up on that.
Yes.
You gotta love it.
Backing up.
You gotta love it when he's backing up.
Joseph, you're on the air.
Live from YMSL Studios. Bob, how are you, Coach? Norman?
Joseph.
Oh, it's Joe. I thought it was Jigga for a second.
This is Gold Glove right fielder Joseph Bub Jemal over here. Bub from the Expos organization, playoff bound. Congratulations on clinching the spot.
Thank you. And I actually have been told that, Doctor, I cannot call you Coach anymore, being that we have Sandy Shalom now as our coach of the Montreal Expos. So I have to put that.
So
I won't even go
Doctor.
there. Sandy Shalom. I won't go there. I love Sandy. He's coaching softball?
Yes.
He's doing a great job.
Great job. He didn't show up Sunday. Was he there?
Shut up, all year.
He felt the caliber of the opponent didn't deserve his presence.
Need a coach. Okay.
He sends us a video message before the game with some pep talk, some inspiration, and he's been in a couple of games this year.
Awesome.
Joseph, what's your prediction in Jacobs Braves versus Hurricanes game?
I'm going to go with the Braves.
Wow.
I don't know what it is, but somehow Jeffrey Sack
Yeah, you think Jeffrey Sack is going to do it, huh?
From LL Airlines.
Oh, from LL Airlines, okay.
Use the app, but I think somehow they're going to get into the next round and beat the Canes and just surprise everybody. It's just been that kind of year. Everyone's so tight in this league, and anything could happen. We've seen it this week. We had some incredible games this week against All In.
Joe, while we're on that game, Joe, what were you
thinking? Wedding this week, and a member of All In was there. I'm not going to say who, but they're all whispers, and this is breaking news, by the way.
Louder.
All whispers of All In taking the Expos with their pick.
Whoa.
There was emails, correspondence going on from their team, and we were mentioned, Norman. So be prepared. They can take us, and if they do, I think it would be another great duel. I really do.
Joe, what were you thinking in the late in the game, in that 9-5 game, when we walked Mikey Shalom to face you 1st and 3rd, 9-all?
Great question. Great question.
What was the approach? What are you looking for? Work the count? You're gonna go early in the count. You're gonna work the count.
Mikey, being that Mikey, he actually just started taking at bats. 2 weeks ago, he got very hot. He's hitting crushing the ball.
Right.
And I honestly have not been hitting well this year. I've had better years with you, Coach. Yeah.
Doctor.
And last year I hit better than I am this year. So, I got up there and my approach was get a freaking hit. And
that's what I taught you. Get a freaking hit. That's our motto.
Yeah, get a freaking hit. And
Say Bob's motto also.
Not quite, almost. Same on a little variation on that.
Listen, Mikey, in the beginning of the year, no one was respecting him as a pitcher, and now he's getting respect as a pitcher, and it's the same thing with the bat. I expect him to be great in the postseason.
Mikey has a little bit of a little fire under him over there. He can, Jack Abady clocked one on him. Ran under the bushes, and he kind of said something, maybe a little bit out of line, that should have been a homer. And what came out of Mikey was, wow. Yeah,
well, actually, Jack Abady spoke a little too soon, said it should have been a homer.
Well, it was hit like a homer. It just happened to run under.
It's very funny. Hold on, Bob. Wait. It's very funny because before the game, we spoke about this rule in firemen's. A lot of time, once a game, the ball goes into the bushes. We had it against us in a huge situation with Allie, and they made him go back to second after he had already rounded third.
Same play.
So before the game,
right down the line, and there's bushes that go into fair territory.
Right. And Allie likes hitting there. So before the game, I was fighting hard that should be, if he rounded third, he should be a home run.
Call, right.
And the umpire and the other team said, no, it's just going to be a double. And sure enough, Allie hit nowhere near there, and Jack Abady hit one there. He did make a off-color remark saying I clocked it or whatever, talking to the pitcher, saying it should have been. I'll go back to second, but I just,
I took you deep.
I took you deep, yeah, something to that effect.
Right.
And then later in the inning, Jack
and then Mikey showed the Moshama in him.
Yes. Good reference. And
I'll slap a couple of B words in there. Back to Brooklyn. I don't know why. What the hell was going on, but
I guess I have selective hearing. I didn't hear that part.
But I had to send the women and children scampering for the dugout after Mike. But I got, he's a competitor, Mikey. I give him credit. He's a competitor.
But the line I heard was that, so later in the inning, Jack was out at the plate, and Mikey screamed at him, you didn't hit a home run until you touch home plate.
Wow. Very astute.
Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
Right back at it. It was a great game. It was a
heated exchange.
Wow.
And yes, the women and children did have to go for cover. But
so my grandkids go. They leave. We got to go, Dad.
Oh, really?
And he was there. Mikey said, we got to go. So
interesting. So maybe they will pick us, and we could pick up this rivalry.
But there's a lot of guys want to win. I mean,
that's what makes it what it is. The intensity is.
By the way, it's the opposite of what we heard from the White Sox. All indications are that they were just ready to pack up and leave yesterday in their 3-game, which ended up being a 4-game losing streak. So maybe sometimes we go over the line. I'm guilty of it myself. But, sometimes we get ahead of ourselves and say things we don't mean. But at least we want to win. At least we care.
One of the nice features was that Lee's dad, Lee Zacari's dad, Joe, came to the game.
Yeah.
and the trash talking, he's not a big fan of the trash talking at all, and they all respect him. So he kind of said, "Boys, that's not while he's hitting or not while he's doing this." And Maurice calmed down, and the Money guy, I guess your third baseman, he calmed down a little bit. He's got a set of lungs on him.
Yeah, he's got a set of lungs, and he's related to Maurice. So when he was waiting to play Maurice this whole time, and then we got rained out.
To Maurice's niece,
right? So we got rained out. So he was waiting to face Maurice the whole year. I can't wait to face him. This, that, blah, blah, blah.
He hit a couple of big shots too. Jack one down for him, but he's as the catcher, you get a lot of, you're within earshot of those dugouts. It's really,
you're a lot
growing up quick at 860 behind the plate.
Yes, Joe Zaccaria on the bench, though, was a very calming influence.
On both teams.
And after the game, we lost a heartbreaker, game 1. After the game, he looked at me and he goes, he was safe. That's it.
Wow.
And so, therefore, I knew he was safe. Like when he said it was safe,
it wasn't good enough that Ray told you that. You needed.
It wasn't good enough that Ray, and of course, everyone from All In had the perfect view.
They love it. They love
under the tag.
Under the tag.
When you see the replay, you never saw a closer play.
Yeah, I had that the week before.
Actually, we got
thing. The scorekeeper even he was under the tag. 3 innings later, they're telling me he was under the tag.
Actually,
got his hand in.
Talking about a guy with a set of lungs, we actually have a call from the championship-winning coach of the JV Hillel, Jackie Eshko, coming in. This ought to be entertaining. Eshko, congratulations.
Big Expo fan, nice.
I looked for a game my skill, by the way. Thanks for the patient, by the way. Thank you for the patient. Down by 1, bottom of the 7th. Guy got a hit, the other guy got a hit. The guy, Louis Black, Victor's brother, Ferguson's son, Victor Louis, but his ball shit in the beat. The ball was laid on the whole and that's what they like it. The ball laid on the pool, that was it. That's what they like it from the game. And we got the troll, around JV is where that's talking about YMSL.
All right, Jackie, I don't understand the word you're saying. Congratulations on the win, though. And Louis Dweck with the big hit to score Elliott Saka for the game-winning hit. Hillel over...
Yeah, first of all...
SAR.
Over
SAR.
SAR.
We're trying to figure out what that stands for.
Oh, what is that?
SAR.
What is that? What is that?
Letters.
We're looking forward to a lot of those guys being the YMSL in a couple of years.
I think there's some kind of academy of Russia or something. Whatever, Rockland or...
Louis Dweck.
Rockaway.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
The Academy of Rockaway.
Okay.
There you go.
On a neutral field.
Eshko, thank you very much, and congratulations and continued success.
So we're getting in touch with the King's Speech and getting some diction lessons on that kind of stuff.
All right, Jack Eshko, obviously thrilled about his victory the other day. So really, we can't even make predictions because we don't even know. But I have a gut feeling to go with the Bears, and I have a feeling the Hurricanes and the Expos, which to me would be a great matchup.
Well, even though you can't make predictions, who do you see coming out of this semifinal round? Quarterfinal round.
So which two teams?
Which 2 teams? Regardless, you got 5 teams to pick from.
Yeah.
Which 2 teams?
I feel the All In is the most balanced team right now. I mean, but again, Mikey Leo could
implode.
Yeah,
Although he's been solid.
Been good. But that's going to be the story with every team. So but around as far as your defense plays, the offense is there, and Henry, and you got veteran guys there. So I think definitely your team's to be reckoned with. And then you got to look. The truth, if the Hurricanes somehow find a way to win with the veterans there on that team, they could. Speaking of All In, we have the captain, GM, director, player, personnel, Mr. Maurice Haber.
How are you?
Standing up for you, Maurice.
Yeah.
Hey, Chucky, Norman, how you doing, guys? I know you're short for time, so I just want to give you my analysis on, possibly what I'm going to do.
Okay, go for it.
Norman.
Yes.
Don't count out us picking the Expos. I just want you to know that.
Bring it on. You want to pick a team that you had 2 walk-off games with? No problem.
No, but I'm undecided. Really, it's very difficult to have this decision, and any team is going to get up for you. But you know what? If you can't get up for the playoffs, you need this bulletin board, then you shouldn't even be there.
Wow,
it's gonna be
awesome.
tough. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna decide. Chucky, myself, and Henry and Jack, and we're gonna make a decision at the end. But we are definitely. I'll go on the air right now and tell you we are not picking the Hurricanes.
Let me ask you, Maurice, is there any chance at all that you would just defer the pick and let the Expos make the decision for you?
I was really contemplating that today, and a lot of things changed with the Bears organization when I found out potentially they're picking up Max Sutton.
I told you that Max Sutton really changes my thought of the Bears as well.
And it changes my thought too. I have respect for the Bears, I have respect for the Expos, Ali Marshall, and everybody, and whatever happens, it's gonna be a tough choice.
Wow, you really get.
Okay,
You went
so
to
you-
school. He changed.
so-
He become Jack Jemal. Jack Jemal is back in the playoffs.
Yeah, what he told us was that he's not picking the Hurricanes.
No problem.
Right.
Tell me the top 5 guys in the league in the history of the league, please.
Right, exactly. So you're saying you're not going to pick the Hurricanes. So it sounds like if the Braves win.
I'm on the record of that.
Okay, so you're not taking the Canes, which means if they win, there's no way you're going to defer the pick because then you might end up facing them.
Right.
I don't know. I think
You're like
you're going.
Sherlock Holmes on this.
Yeah,
You're like-
exactly. I gotta think you're going with the Bears. I mean, so many people on your team are telling me that.
But he just gave you the Max Sutton.
Until I found out that they picked up a replacement, Max Sutton. I think he's a fabulous third baseman. No offense to Mo Casson, he's a great player, but Max Sutton's a veteran. He's a winner, and he's going to give it his all if he plays. That's for sure.
Okay.
Maurice, I just want to give you.
You guys will know very soon, and when you know, I'll let you know.
So wait, you're not making a pick Friday after this big meeting at undisclosed location.
Well, we might be making the pick, but we're not calling you.
Oh, so you're gonna make the pick in this?
Right.
Okay.
Maurice, I just want to say, I came into playing for you for the first time in the years I've been in the YMSL.
Here we
A
go.
little intimidated by the rep. I think it's a bad rep that you've had in the past. I thought you handled yourself with class throughout the year. The guys could say what they want. You gave in a lot of situations. You let guys make substitutions when they didn't deserve to. You let guys bat out of order when they didn't deserve to. You were a class act throughout the year, and it's been a pleasure.
Pass the tissues.
Thank you. Tell that to Bobby Morabia. But
I'm not worried about Bobby Morabia.
I feel the same way playing with you, and you know what? It's good for the league that everybody has me as the villain, but it's all good. The guys who know me, they know me.
You're right, Mo.
I gotta say, not to add on to that sap story just now that we heard, but
Norman, you know you played for me.
I played with you for 2 or 3 years, and it was a pleasure playing with him. He got everybody in. I didn't deserve to bat as much as I did, and he gave me some ABs. And he worked very hard on getting everybody playing time.
Wow, so
I
Maurice,
gotta give him credit. He's a good
maybe
captain.
some-
You should listen to this, Bobby.
Captain of the year.
He did a
also.
job. We had 12 players. They all, not a complaint was heard. He got Ralph Matudin. He got Gazin. He got, he didn't have favorites with one of his sons.
I don't know
He
about
was good.
Gaz. I saw Gaz's stats, and it seems
Gaz
like
did
he had
not bat, but he was
very,
content-
very few at bats.
But he was
No, but he
content to
plays
play
the field.
stellar defense.
More than any guy on our team. He calls me. He's my bench coach.
Right.
He loves it.
He
he plays.
does.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. But Maurice, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought here.
You were going to tell me how great a person he is. And,
No, that I definitely wasn't saying.
All right, Mo,
I guess
so-
we're gonna wait and see regarding your pick, and whatever it is, I think it's gonna be a great postseason, and good luck.
Yeah, I just want to also say, Bobby, no matter what anybody says about you, which is a lot, you did a great job. It was a great season. I enjoyed myself. It's not over yet, but really, without you, there's no league. So I just want to thank you.
Viewership is declining right now with everybody being so nice to
Yeah.
everybody. I need to put an end to this.
I'm getting ready to kill on the field, so that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Maurice. Have a good
Have a
night.
good night. Thank you.
Thank you. So you heard from Maurice, and still hush about his selection. So
I think it just goes to show you how tough, how competitive the league is. You can't make a
Right.
decision. I mean, there's no, you're throwing me the Bears, he's throwing me the Braves. Don't
Hold
allow
on,
the
wait.
Expos.
You asked the question, and you said the Hurricanes and all in of the 5 teams you think are going to be the 2 that advance.
Right.
And I want to ask you the same question. Who do you think the 2 teams are?
Well, I definitely think I got to go with all in. I mean, you're going to go with the Expos, so there's no mystery over there. Do I think it's the Hurricanes that'll make it into that? I don't know who I'm playing. I'm definitely not playing the Hurricanes, so that could be a safe bet. I'd have to go with the Hurricanes as well.
Wow. So you guys are both picking the Hurricanes to win this game and then beat us in the next round also.
Well, we may beat you in the next round.
So you're saying you're going to pick us, you're going to put the
You
Hurricanes
never know.
against
You never know.
I don't think there's any
Hurricane
shot
is
they're
the
picking us. They'd be crazy to pick us.
Yeah.
They'd
No,
be crazy to pick us.
I don't think they are.
There's
but-
no shot to picking us. I'm not going for that
So
nonsense.
we're going with the Bears.
You're going with the Bears, maybe
And
the
then-
Braves. You sold me a little bit on the Braves today, but no shot you're picking us.
Right.
You'd be crazy to pick us.
So basically,
We scored the same amount of runs yesterday.
I'll tell you, if the Braves make it through with Ralph Hannon, they got to be the 4-1. I don't care about Jeffrey Sackett coming
Okay.
back on the 31st of July or whatnot. But you got to go with a team that can't hit and a pitcher that doesn't belong on the team, recovering off a major chesed move on his part. But you can't shy away from Ralph Hannon for 2 games because Jeffrey Sackett is looming in the background.
Right.
So,
and they still can't hit, like you said
and
before.
They can't hit. They can't.
Bottom line
they
is-
can score 4 runs yet.
But you're both picking the Hurricanes. They had 5 wins coming into this last week.
yeah, I know, but the team's dangerous.
And
So-
you're all overlooking the
What was their
Expos.
record after they were 1-7?
Well, they ended up.
Yeah. I can't do a long
they ended-
division.
they ended
The
up-
last 8 games.
6-2.
6-2.
6-2.
They're closing out 6-2, and they swept all in as part of it. They closed out
Yeah.
6-2. They swept the White Sox. They swept,
Right.
they
All right.
closed out 6-2.
Well, on this note, we got to end the show as good as it is. And Chucky, once again, thank you very much for the.
Always a pleasure.
appearance.
Always a great guest, Chucky. Always.
So much to do in an hour and a half, and a lot of topics to cover. And good luck with All In. And Norman, also good luck. Both teams are going to be in action this week, so it'll
That's
be
right.
interesting. And we'll see how smart we are next week with all our picks. We could,
We'll be looking at the bad news Bears and the Expos.
The Yankees and the Braves.
So, all right, thank you very much, and we'll see everybody out on the field on Sunday.